I'm Dom.
And her goal for Visions Dance Theater is to enlighten and entertain audiences while giving exceptional dancers a place to perform. Visions Dance Theater has received multiple Lester Wharton Award nominations. They won the Lester Wharton Award for Outstanding Performance for her Always Remember, Never to Forget piece. The dancers at the Visions Dance Theater are trained in all areas of dance and are emotionally dedicated to tell stories through the use of their bodies. That's just background.
Okay, so just a quick little SWOT analysis of strengths and uses, opportunities and threats. The company has some very good strengths. The fact that she's the CEO and founder of the company allows her to kind of interpret how she wants the company to run or her organization to run. So as Kirsten was explaining the extensive background that she's done with dance, those are some of the strengths that she's implemented into her pieces, her work of art per se. And so some of her strengths also include for her company is she does have a nice little website set up where people can go on there, kind of find out more about what the organization is about, what they do for their specific program, and how to basically donate and things like that. However, some of the weaknesses that come into play is that she hasn't really done extensive community outreach within the program. There is a lack of funding for her dance program, and as a result, a lot of her dancers are starting to leave to other competitors that are paying their dancers more, simply because they can, and she doesn't have the necessary funding for that. But there are several opportunities that she could be utilizing, which are going to be explained through our goals and our timeline. Ways that she can reach out into the community, ways that she can expand her social media, and efforts to hopefully get that funding that she needs in the research, the grants that she needs for her company. But if these things don't follow through, some of the threats to her company that she could potentially lose it, if she ends up losing all her dancers. So there's a lot of different areas that the company really needed help in, and so we're going to go ahead and explain those. Theories. Based off analyzing different consultations and setting up with her, areas that we need to address, we felt that her specific organization is more of a symbolic framework, which is basically the interpretation of events. And she does a lot of social issues within her dances. So her main goal is that she likes to attract audiences of things that are going on within the environment at the moment. And so her first piece that she did with Love and War was about war. Basically how she saw firsthand that there was a lot of people leaving to war and what happened to their loved ones when they stayed behind. So that was some sort of, in her piece, she was able to incorporate that type of dance and that type of story throughout her performance. Her current one that she's choreographing is more based on the social issue is suicide. There's been a lot of suicide talk or just a lot of incidents recently, and so she felt that it was something that she needed to address. So you can see that through it, that's something that she has to interpret, something that she has to explain to her audience through her dance, and so that's why we felt that her best framework that fit with her organization was a symbolic framework. And we're just going to show you a quick video. To kind of explain how the symbolic framework is more interpreted. So these are different, composite different types of dance. So that's just a little example of the type of work that she does for her organization.
So basically the target public is anyone in school, whether it's from middle school all the way to college. And specifically, we think that she should target underprivileged children that can't necessarily afford to pay
pay for dance classes or mentally disabled children, because if she targets them and offers them like lessons for free because they can't afford it, then she's more likely to get grants saying these kids like can't afford to take all these dance classes because they're pretty expensive. So if you supply them with grants, we're helping out the community, and yeah. And we think that she should target people in school in general, because that's when they most likely are trying to pursue their dancing career.
So we kind of gave you like a real brief overview of like her company, which like you guys can see right now, she does a lot of good stuff. She has a lot of extensive background, but now we're gonna kind of put together the target publics and the goals we established for her. The first one, she has a website, but she doesn't have a Facebook page. She doesn't have a Twitter account. One of her biggest competitors, it's kind of hard to pronounce, Shock Dance. They have a really good like Twitter account, a really good Facebook page that kind of brings those high school students or the college students looking for grants or looking to do dance in college in higher education. It brings them to their company page. She doesn't have that yet. She doesn't have that rapport with her, with the surrounding dance community, which you'll see this all ties together. We want to establish a network and relationship with surrounding schools. Another key thing that our competitors are doing, our clients' competitors are doing, is that they're basically taking their time, the instructor or the founder, the big dancers, and they're giving free lessons to underprivileged students in high school or middle school, mentally disabled students in elementary school, and they're doing that free of charge. Because public relations, we all know, it's about building a relationship. And she needs money, she needs grants, she also needs to kind of establish a relationship with the community. If they know that she's going out there and she's doing these free seminars and she's kind of helping out children, not only when she applies to grants are those big sponsors going to see that, but the whole community is going to see like, okay, the Visions Dance Theater, they kind of give back to us. And then they implemented the community outreach program, which I'll go over in just a little bit, which is pretty much going to finding underprivileged schools and kind of dedicating her time to that. Like I said, all our competitors are doing that. Also, one of the key things that she needs to register for the Chamber of Commerce. They basically cost like $255 to join, but that's where she's going to be able to get grant classes once a month. If she could say, hey, where can I go to get consultation with grants and how to write them. Grant writing is a huge process. It doesn't take a week or 2 weeks. It's not like FAFSA. It takes a year. You have to really learn what you're doing, and you're asking people for a lot of money. This isn't $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. Our client is requiring us to get $250,000 worth of scholarships or grants. And the fifth one is that register for Indiegogo. I'll go over that in just a minute. It's kind of like an add-on to the Chamber of Commerce. And then prepare a video news release that kind of demonstrates if she's going to these schools and she's dedicating her time. Her competitors show that they do that they go to the small schools, that they help the mentally disabled kids, and those are the competitors that have the funding from the grants. So we need her to kind of have like a video on her website that doesn't show, like we showed you that dance of how she portrays the social impact or whatnot. That doesn't help get her grants. That's where we come into. We need to have videos that shows, oh wait, Macarena and the Visions Dance Theater actually helps out the community. And so then the last one is put it all together. You guys will see how all these come together and kind of goes through getting a grant, which doesn't make sense exactly right now, but when I put it together next slide, you guys can see. So we had the consultation. We met with her March 21st. We met with her, kind of sat down, me and Ms. Sway, and said, where are you at? We figured out what she needed to do. That's when we initially found out, that she had no Facebook page, she had no Twitter account. We told her, within 2 weeks she needs to have that set up. By doing that, you guys will see that this whole process comes together because she's now establishing a rapport with surrounding dance communities, with her competitors, with communities who she outreaches to do the dance lessons. We had her establish that first. The second thing we had her do, which would be like after it was like April, May, she could take that time to go kind of find underprivileged schools in the Fullerton area, in the Orange County area, that she could dedicate her time to, schools that she would enjoy driving to and giving, she charges for private dance lessons. So we're asking her, April, May, you could kind of go out and basically find a school with, you know, a group of mentally disabled kids, underprivileged kids, and you can offer your service free of charge. And then after that, we told her that in June and August, basically the summer, after she finds that school or that round of school, she's going to do like a test run and offer that community outreach for the summer program. Not a whole school year, just when the kids are in summer school. And then after that, we told her, you know, it'd be a 3-4 month process, which we're not there yet. But she implements that. She goes with these schools. During this process, her Twitter and Facebook accounts are coming together. And then she's also being able to put on her Twitter account Visions Dance Theater, you know, free lessons for the mentally disabled kids, you know, Fullerton High. And it's all kind of coming together. We also told her that during this time, when she's doing the summer school, that's when she registers for the Chamber of Commerce. We have to understand that the Chamber of Commerce has hundreds of businesses that come in and say, yo, we're broke, we need money. It's exactly how it works. When we send her in there, we don't want to send her in there just $255 and it goes to nothing. We want her to go in there and say, hey, look, I'm establishing a community outreach program. I need financial aid for this and for my company. You know, what can we do? And that's kind of part of the process. After she does that, the next step would be after the summer school, she would go into basically finding that one school that she worked with during the summer and basically saying, hey, I want to implement my Visions Dance Theater program, community outreach for a whole year, meaning the whole school semester that the children are in high school, elementary, wherever she chooses to kind of go after. And when she does that, that's basically when she kind of is when we're going to form, she's going to get, you know, videos of her teaching the kids or whatnot, just like her competitors. We take that in and we basically make, you know, a VNR. And we basically show her taking her time out of her, you know, her busy schedule to go out and teach these kids, kind of bring them together. And then basically the outcome, we told her the last thing she needed to do was a really cool website we found called Indiegogo.com. And what she does, she signs up for free and you request donations from all across the world. The reason why we have this be one of the last steps is because if she goes to Indiegogo.com, people probably request money for, you know, not the smartest things. If she's on there and she's saying, hey, I need money for, you know, this big community outreach program that I've done in the summer and I did in the year, a lot more people are going to feel for that. And then lastly, while she's in the Chamber of Commerce, like I mentioned before, they offer the free grant writing consultations and classes that she can attend. That whole entire year she's doing the community outreach program, she's attending those classes once a month. So by the end of her, you know, her last community outreach program or the full year course, she kind of has a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more work with schools. She has some networks she's been building, and that kind of all goes together because then she can actually request for a grant and say, hey, look, you know, Pepsi, which is one of the people who funds our competitors, hey, Pepsi, I did this community outreach program. I did it for a summer. I now implemented it for a whole year. I also teach full-time at Cal State Fullerton, and I have a Visions dance theater company that puts on big productions. We need money and funding, you know, and then they see that. They don't just see that she's just trying to get money to put on her shows, which she really is, but she's also taking the time out of her day to go out and help the community, which is huge and pure when you're building relationships. And that's pretty much just it.
Our budget is basically, she's not going to be spending a lot of money, but it's going to, her doing the community outreach program and going to all the grant writing classes is just going to take away time that she could be doing private lessons or things like that and making money. So it's not necessarily that she's spending a lot of money, it's just that, yeah, she's losing out on money that she could be making. So basically that, to join the Chamber of Commerce is $255, and then just if she wants to hire a professional video or videographer to make her video newsreel.
Keep going.
That would, we guess that would cost around $200 because you don't want to have a cheap video if you want, you have to spend the money to make it look good in order for people to pay attention and help. So that's it.
So based on our budget, she's losing out money. She could be offering private lessons to students. Instead, she's giving out free ones. So that's the money she loses out on every month, which is like around $500 to $800. So that's it.